Now there's a problem with pan-tilt security cameras that no one really talks about. The moment that they turn to track something, they stop watching everything else. So you either get coverage or detail, never both. Reolink's TrackMix series improved this by putting multiple lenses on the pan-tilt head, but it still could lose sight of things. The Reolink OMVI 3i was built to fix that. It has a fixed 180-degree wide view that never moves, plus a 4K pan-tilt lens that tracks subjects in real time automatically, both running simultaneously in a single base that can take the job of what used to take 3 cameras. So this is the entire reason that this camera exists. The panoramic camera up top is recording the entire scene constantly, but the lower pan-tilt lens can independently lock on and follow a person, vehicle, or animal moving throughout the frame. And here's the important part. On a normal pan-tilt camera, once the camera swings away to follow something, you lose visibility everywhere else behind it. But on the OMVI, the panoramic view never moves. So while the lower lens is tracking someone across the yard, even behind the camera, the upper panoramic camera is still recording the full scene. That means if a second person enters the scene while tracking is happening, you still capture everything. Now that's the blind spot problem solved. So why does this even matter? Well, because if you've ever actually tried to cover your property with security cameras, you've probably ended up doing what most of us do, stacking them. You've got one wide-angle camera on the front of the house to see who's pulling up in the driveway, a pan-tilt somewhere in the corner so you can zoom in and see who's coming to the front door, and maybe a third bullet camera watching the back gate, side yard, or alley. Most cameras are optimized for one single job. Wide-angle cameras give you awareness, pan-tilt cameras give you detail. So to get both, you end up needing 2 cameras. And that can add up fast. More cameras means more cable runs, more PoE switch ports, more mounting locations to plan around, and more feeds to flip through and store to check and see if something interesting happens. Most consumer security cameras are designed like isolated products. This camera feels like a completely new system architecture. The OMVI 3i is built on a different premise, that one camera with the right hardware can handle all 3 jobs at once. Same housing, same mount, same cable, same app feed. So the question for today's video is, does it actually work in practice? So to answer that question, let's start with the hardware. The OMVI 3i is actually 2 camera systems stacked into one housing. On top, you've got the dual lens panoramic camera, which is 2 lenses whose images are actually stitched together into one single continuous 180-degree view. This is the part that never moves. It's permanently watching the full width of whatever it's pointed at. So if you've ran across Reolink's Duo line, you already understand what this top half does. Those cameras were designed to merge 2 lenses into a single panoramic image, with no blind spots across that field of view. The OMVI takes that same idea and stacks it on top of a pan-tilt camera system. Reolink does rate the combined panoramic section up top at 10 megapixels, which has a true resolution of about 5120 by 1920. And that's pretty smart because you don't really need an extremely high resolution camera up here because it's really just looking for things happening in its field of view. Now underneath that is a second camera system, a 4K pan-tilt camera. This is the part that actually moves. It can pan 350 degrees, almost a full circle, and can tilt up and down 50 degrees. This camera shoots at 8 megapixels, which is true 4K. And that lower lens is the one that's responsible for identification. Faces, license plates, what someone's carrying. So while the panoramic camera can handle awareness, the pan-tilt camera handles detail. Each camera is spec'd for the job it's doing. And that's a powerful design decision that makes this whole thing work. Physically, it's a PoE or Power over Ethernet camera. This means power and data travel over one Ethernet cable, which is honestly the cleanest and most secure way to install cameras like this. And of course, it's weather rated for outdoor use, being IP66 weatherproof, and includes all the mounting hardware that you need in the box. It even has a really nice spring retention on the side screws that mount the camera to the mount. This way you don't drop it when you're standing up on a 20-foot ladder. Now, one thing worth noting, the panoramic section at the top only has a small manual tilt adjustment. It can go from 0 straight out, down to 20 degrees below the camera. And you actually physically set this during installation. So the mounting position here matters more than with a typical camera. I ended up mounting mine up near the roof line, which is honestly a bit higher than the camera's designed for. So I do wish that the panoramic section would tilt down a little bit more, but I am able to see all the way to the very edge of my driveway, which is really nice. So this next section was the part that I was the most excited about, actually tracking and capturing what happens in front of my house. Now I've had a ton of cameras mounted on the front of my house, and still to this day, probably have 4 out front. So I was really excited to see what this camera was capable of, and hopefully remove some of those extra cameras I don't need anymore. So where I mounted this, the panoramic camera can see the entire street in front of my house, almost 10 or 12 houses down, plus the full intersection at the corner. And when it detects a person, vehicle, or animal moving through that scene, it hands those coordinates off to the pan tilt lens underneath. That camera will swing over, lock onto the subject, and follow them throughout the frame. Now Reolink calls this sync track. And on paper, it seems very similar to what we've already seen in cameras like the Track Mix or Track Flex floodlight. But here's the difference I really want you to pay attention to. While the lower camera is tracking around another object, that panoramic camera never moves. So even when the pan tilt camera is looking even at the front door, which is behind the camera, I'm still able to record and see everything happening on the street in front of me with the panoramic lens. And with the way this is handled by the Reolink app, it's all pretty seamless and very easy to navigate. This is great because if the cameras track somebody going down the sidewalk and all of a sudden someone comes out of the garage, I'm still able to record both feeds at the same time. Now I do feel the 4K resolution gives it enough detail to crop in effectively for most driveways and front yards. But this isn't going to be the same thing as a long-range optical zoom pan tilt zoom camera. That 4K image is locked and the only way to zoom in is digitally. But that being said, the tracking itself is genuinely impressive. This is probably the smoothest AI-powered tracking that I've seen on any consumer camera. What I really want to see is how quickly it'll lock onto the subject and whether that movement feels smooth or jerky. I did notice on the Track Mix camera that it had a tendency to let the subject almost leave the frame and then quickly readjust, which made for a very jerky experience. But that's not really the case here on the OMVI camera. And I really think the footage speaks for itself. Another cool feature that ended up being a lot more useful than I expected is Pinpoint. Traditionally on a pan tilt camera, you have to use the little virtual joystick and then scan around the frame to find what you're looking at. Instead, when using the app, you can tap anywhere on the panoramic view and the pan tilt lens immediately swings over to that exact location. Plus it displays what the pan tilt camera is looking at on the wider panoramic view. This sounds small until you actually use it. That's because a lot of times when you're monitoring things going outside your house, you have to be very quick to catch the detail that you're looking for. So being able to just click and have it instantly follow that area is a huge plus. So we covered the hardware and the tracking. But let's take a look at how you set up and use the camera day to day. Now, everything runs through the Reolink app, and if you've used any other Reolink camera before, this will feel familiar. The big difference here is the new dual view layout, which I think has improved quite a bit from previous generations of cameras. You're seeing both the panoramic feed and the pan tilt feed together at the same time. And whether you have your phone in portrait or landscape, it switches around the layout to optimize the screen space. So from this view, you can either go full screen, scrub through recordings independently, or digitally zoom into footage afterwards. I do like some of the new features where you have instant access to all of the different events that it records, which is a lot better way of navigating than the bar at the bottom. Now there are 2 features worth calling out for large area coverage. The first is preset positions. We have seen this feature on previous generations of Reolink pan tilt cameras, but it's good to bring up here. You can actually save specific locations for the pan tilt lens to jump to instantaneously. This could be your driveway, your front gate, the corner of your yard, or in my case, the front door. Reolink says you can save up to 64 presets, which is honestly much more than most people are going to need. And you can designate one of these as the monitor point. This is where the pan tilt camera automatically returns after tracking finishes. And you can apply filters so tracking only activates in certain zones, which I think is necessary, especially with how wide that this camera can cover. We'll look at that here in a second. The second big feature is patrol routes. This is where you can create automated patrols where the pan tilt lens will cycle through selected preset locations continuously. That's actually pretty useful here because the pan tilt section can physically rotate far beyond the 180 degrees of the panoramic camera. So in my case, I can have it rotate past 180 degrees and check out the front window or front door of my house. This can be set up in the app and then triggered automatically or on a schedule. As I did mention before, you can go in and tweak quite a few of the settings on the camera itself. You can set what type of tracking it does, whether it's motion-based or it's using its onboard AI to detect people, animals, or vehicles. You can restrict how far the pan tilt camera will sweep when it's tracking. You can go in and set up your zones to where it won't track or follow if somebody walks through. And this is super important for somebody like me that has this looking over a very busy sidewalk and street. I would have constant alerts and constant recording as cars drive up and down the road and people walk by with their dogs. So I've got it set to where it blocks out those areas and it doesn't start tracking until they come into my yard. You can also set things like gates where a person will have to cross through an area in order for it to trigger. And you can program how long you want it to track a subject using the pan tilt camera and when to return back to its home position. But for me, the really important part is what happens outside of the Reolink app. Because just like every other Reolink camera, the OMVI supports both RTSP and ONVIF. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, we'll cover it here in a second. That means you can pull the camera feeds directly into systems like Home Assistant, Frigate, Blue Iris, or basically any other platform that supports standard IP camera streams. And for my setup, that's the difference between a standard home security camera and the Reolink cameras that I usually trust my house with. This is great for Home Assistant because you can set up motion or even those AI tracking events to trigger additional automations like turning on lights. You can have your feeds living directly on your dashboard, and you can manage your recording locally. And if you want to enhance your home security, you can set up something like Frigate like I did on my NAS over here. That way you can set up individualized object recognition. This is great because everything works alongside the rest of your smart home instead of inside of a separate app. And this is another area where Reolink generally does a great job. Plus, all these features, there's no subscription for, so no monthly fee. Recording, smart detection, tracking, and local storage, none of it's locked behind a cloud subscription. And for storage, you've got multiple options. There's of course a built-in micro SD slot that supports up to 512 gigabyte cards. And it works great with Reolink's NVRs, their home hubs, your own NAS storage, and FTP recording. That way the footage stays local and under your control. And one quick note, if you are using one of the Reolink NVRs, make sure your firmware is fully up to date. This is one thing that bit me. You can't rely on automatic updates. When I first set this up, I couldn't even see the pan tilt feed properly until I went out to the Reolink site and downloaded the latest version for my hardware. That added these new features and made everything work smoothly. Now, if you are interested in setting up your Reolink cameras in Home Assistant or Frigate, I've got previous videos that are linked down in the description. Plus, you'll probably see them pop up in the cards here. All right, now I spent most of this video talking about what works. So let me get into some of the trade-offs, because no single camera is a free lunch. And the one camera that replaces three idea has some limitations. First, and this is a big one, it's still a single camera mounted in a single location. If you have three separate cameras mounted in three corners of your house, this gives you three different viewing angles. One camera, even a smart one, still sees the world from the same position. So before you buy this expecting it to replace all the cameras in your home, look at your property and ask, does one good mounting location really see everything you care about? In my case, I have this nice exposed corner, which allows the camera to basically see 3/4 of its range in one area. It covers my garage doors, my driveway, the front of my house, my front door, my front windows, pretty much everything. But that may not be the case for you. My old duo camera is mounted on the other end of the front of my house, and now it's being blocked mostly by a large tree, so keep that in mind. Also, having one single camera can be a single point of failure, meaning that's one line that can get cut and nothing else is really watching it. So keep that in mind if you're looking. So keep that in mind in your security assessment. And the second big consideration is right now at launch, this model is power over Ethernet only. So if running Ethernet to your mounting location isn't realistic, then that really matters. Now there is going to be a Wi-Fi version coming out very soon. You'll just need to run power to it and then it'll connect to your network over Wi-Fi. So who's this camera actually for? So if you're like me and you've got one strong vantage point, somewhere that can see a large area of your property, like your driveway, front yard, or main approach, and you want to have both wide area coverage and tracking detail without managing multiple cameras, then this is a great piece of technology. But if your property needs visibility on multiple disconnected sides, then you're still going to want multiple cameras. Like this isn't going to replace the cameras that run along the side or the back of my house, but it is going to let me consolidate most of my front cameras into one. And another point to consider is the price. Now, some of the early information I got shows this camera should be coming out around $329 US. That can be quite steep for a camera, especially a power over Ethernet one. But you do need to remember that you are going to be probably replacing 2, if not 3 cameras with this one single unit. And there's a lot of technology going on in this camera, so just keep that in mind. There are less expensive options out there, but I think for what this camera can do, you're getting a lot. So let's go back to the question this whole video started with. Can one camera really replace three? Honestly, for the right location, yes. What makes the OMVI 3i work isn't just a single specification. It's the overall architecture. A permanent 180-degree panoramic camera that never stops watching, paired with a 4K pan-tilt camera that handles tracking and detail at the same time. That combination genuinely solves a problem and executes it quite cleanly. So as long as you got the right mounting location, this camera absolutely works. Now I am releasing this video on launch week for the OMVI, so if you're interested in picking one up, I've got links down in the description. And of course, those go to help the channel and let Reolink know that you got good information from today's video. And real quick, I want to thank Reolink for sending the camera out early for me to take a look at. And finally, if you want to see how to set up your Reolink cameras with Home Assistant, this includes things like automations and dashboards, I've got a video right over here. Or if you want to see how to set up the cameras with Frigate and get even greater integrations with Home Assistant, I've got a whole dedicated playlist right over here. So check out those videos if you're interested. Thank you for making it this far, and I'll see you on the next video.